More baseball talk too, but now Canada's national summer sport. The St. Catharines Junior A Athletics regular season begins Wednesday night at home, Canada Games Park, and this season is a big one.
Everybody's talking, the buzz ain't just a beer. Radio man keeps saying this could be our year. Huddled up headlights, team colors cross the lawn. Don't matter where you're coming from, we're here to get it gone. It's that hometown crowd, yeah, it's in our blood. And even when the clock runs out, we still raise the cup. It ain't about that hat trick, home run, and big first down. Just looking for a little something we can rally around. Seat in your house, courtside or on the couch, we still get loud.
Welcome to Iroquois Park Sports Centre here in Whitby, Ontario, for another feature game in the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League. My name is Matthew Carrick, alongside the JBI Sports Network, as we present the Whitby Warriors and St. Catharines Athletics, a game that very well could be, at this point, if the season ended, it would be a first-round matchup, but could be for home floor advantage in that first round. Whitby coming in with a 5-1 record, dropped their first loss of the season on Sunday night, 12-7 against Six Nations Arrows. The St. Catharines Athletics, in their last three, lost in Oakville 12-9, but then back-to-back home wins, 11-10 versus Mimico and 8-3 over KW. Both of these teams, however, will play 8 of their last 12 games away from their home arenas, both here in Whitby and Canada Games Park in St. Catharines. Crouching over the face-off, whistles blown, and we're underway. Dark blue uniforms for St. Catharines, white and blue for the Warriors, who will go right to left off the home bench. Working away from rookie Cooper Wilson tonight. His older brother Ty in net for the St. Catharines Athletics. Owen Byrne, your player of the week. Back to Jack Oldman through the middle. Jake Tapper's low shot. First save out of the way by Wilson. A 4-1 record so far on the season for the 4th overall pick in 2023. As St. Catharines will now work left to right for the first time. Colton Armitage to Jamison Bucktooth. Back to Armitage. A nice flip pass down towards the crease. Kept it out, did tie Steenhouse, but late in the clock, Steenhouse will rip, did reset the shot clock. But the rebound not far enough for Bucktooth to pick it up and save the possession. Ethan Lee, one of 11 graduating senior players, 27 of them represented between these two rosters. If you want to know what direction these two teams might be heading as we come down the stretch here, Nolan Byrne, your Gatorade Player of the Week after an 8-goal performance against Brampton. Back out up top to Easton McCafferty, his sidearm shot handled in that St. Catharines crease, and they come back the other way. Logan Fletcher, one of 16 grads on the roster of the Athletics, playing it back down to the corner to Zachary Toll. Also part of that 2023 draft. It saw 6 picks to St. Catharines and 8 Oshawa minor lacrosse players enter into the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League. Ball in and out of the stick of Arrow Booth. By the way, tonight is Whitby minor lacrosse night. Number of kids in attendance from the games that happened as we were making our way into the arena. Jake Wright trying to send that through. It's the rookie Max Weatherup, one of only 4 rookies in the game here tonight. Fakes the pass to Captain Lucas Littlejohn. 3rd in the league in points this season, despite playing a handful less games than some of those who are around him in that stats department. Ball to the far side. Ryan Langille can't hang on to it. He's out of the corner looking back again for Ty Gesso. Quick shot that Wilson saves. Rebound will come out. That was at the tail end of the shot clock there as well. Josh Ford straight down Main Street and scores to open this one here. Josh Ford, part of the offseason trade. 3 players, including Ford, coming from Oakville, if I'm not mistaken, with Jeff Chosky, and straight through the middle and through the 5-hole of Cooper Wilson, who does have a 2-0 record and an 8 goals against average. 3 minutes into this one, the opening goal goes the way of the visiting side. Nathan Fear. Back of the boards to Logan Fletcher after the face-off win for St. Catharines. Oldman for the Warriors, one of the better draw takers in the league and has been for much of the last 3 or 4 years. Armitage to the far side. It's back to Jake Wright. Bouncer. All the way back close to center, but not over, and get the shot clock violation. Ford's goal, by the way, giving Ty Wilson an assist. So getting the goalie's points here early on. Littlejohn from the outside. Back to Byrne, to Littlejohn again. He'll circle back. We're going to go down onto the crease for Trayson Stewart. In and out of his stick is now the Athletics come in. Sutter Pilon stumbled, then got hit. That jarred the ball free as Littlejohn's got a man all the way down floor. Bomb pass to Byrne. He scores. The finish from Byrne is exceptional, but how about the pass from Littlejohn? This is a thing of beauty right here on the money to your Gatorade Player of the Week. 16 points in 3 games. Had not scored in 2 before that one. And yes, indeed, salute your captain for the slant route. Owen Lee. Back to Whitby as they control the face-off. Littlejohn, far side, him and Byrne connecting the more traditional way. It'll be Byrne shooting right into the midsection of Ty Wilson. Only Vanyo's been the starter the last few seasons. Is a graduating senior, but last few games it's been Ty Wilson that's taken the reins. Here is a diving attempt from Colton Armitage, gets called for interference by Shane Withers. Him, Brendan Hessen, and Kyle Kropman. Your 3 officials on the floor tonight. Only our second visit to the newly turfed Iroquois Sports Park. Up over the top, a little skip shot from Gavin Howard. In towards Wilson. This one will bounce back the other way. And Max Taylor clears center. Littlejohn had Langille off the bench. Byrne, the last one to take the floor. Langille back to Littlejohn now. Looking to shoot. Juked around his defender, and not sure that Wilson cleanly saw that the entire way, but did hang on. Ball bounces up the boards now. Littlejohn will get it back after Ben Cromer upset the play. Littlejohn shoots over a pile. Off the leg pad of Wilson. And down to the far side there. Roughing up, as you would expect from Cromer. And meanwhile, on the near side, we had some jousting between Littlejohn and I believe Trent Robertson, one of the penalty minutes leaders in the OJLL. And those two will go off, offsetting for our first penalties of the game. So we remain 5-on-5 here. I know this was a topic of conversation a few weeks ago, a few broadcasts ago, but penalties are supposed to come off the board if they're even strength. And a little skip shot in on Cooper Wilson. Ethan Lee starting out in transition. Oldman to Lee. Backs his way into coverage. Looking to pass back to Oldman. That would normally be Littlejohn's spot, but of course he's in the box for 2 minutes plus a dead ball. So yes, it takes Trent Robertson, a good defender, off the floor, but probably a trade that the Athletics won't take. Colin Armitage. Nice little pick and roll play and a big hit there. Stepping up on Cromer was the big body of Stainhouse. Weather up. Sidesteps his way across the restraining line. Julian Belair trailing the play. Belair across to Byrne. Faked the low shot, going through to Trayson Stewart, who was on the crease and eventually ran through to go after the loose ball, so it will go back to St. Catharines here. Liam Deitch. Bucktooth off the bench. Bucktooth waiting for the further return pass. It does come. Little out of Bucktooth's reach, but able to bring it down. Deitch again from the outside. Excuse me, that was Howard taking over that spot. As the loose ball picked up and big slash eaten there by Lee. Penalties would normally be expiring right about now, but again, because we're 5-on-5, Robertson and Littlejohn remain in the box as Byrne looks here for a shot. Closing it on 10 to go. He'll bounce off a number of checks. They do reset the shot clock as Langille hit hard into the corner, as was Byrne knocked down. Ty Gesso. Acquisition by Whitby in the offseason from KW. We'll pass here to McCafferty. Circling far side is Langille. Burns set the screen, goes to the crease, and they can't connect with a pass. 10 to shoot now for Whitby as Belair picks it up. His shot bounces just wide, and a slashing call coming. Is this to St. Catharines? I think it is. Belair hanging on to his right hand. And that will release the first two penalties and take us to our first goalie water break of the evening. Look here at the penalty. Looked late. Oh, yep. Okay, never mind. Sutter Pilon right into Julian Belair, the former Orangeville Northman. Northman and the Arrows lead the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League standings with 8 wins, 8-1 records through 9 games. Then a big bunch of players with 5 goals, or 5 wins rather, including these two teams that we're following tonight. Outside shot from Byrne, handled there by Wilson. Back check from Littlejohn, pops the ball free. Because Littlejohn will bounce it back towards the line to Belair. First power play of the night for either side to the Whitby Warriors. Littlejohn and Byrne right at the restraining line. Byrne wanted to shoot, will go behind his back to Belair. That missed the mark, and running down the near side is Logan Fletcher. Can't get the ball there. They'll take it from the right wing instead, and shot bounced high off of Wilson and right back to Littlejohn. Under a minute remaining in the power play. Littlejohn to take top spot. Him and Byrne. Now Belair in the quarterback position. Oldman to Byrne. Back to Littlejohn. Shoots under the defender. Through the legs of Fear, and Wilson the clean catch. Ball's going to bounce out, I think, into one of the benches as the teams were changing with the doors open. We'll restart just inside center. With Littlejohn playing it down into the corner. And Byrne. Langio wants to keep it on the right side. They do. After going through Ty Jesso. Littlejohn shot right off the foot of Ryan Barker. Good eat, don't rub it indeed. Fresh 30 seconds though for Whitby. Byrne against the grain through the middle. Langio, quick shot. That one over top of the net, ends up in the front row. Right off to the side of the Athletics bench. Only a handful of seconds left in their power play, but an effective one in terms of pressure from Whitby. Unable to come up with the goal. Ari Steinhaus. Part of the rag team here with Nicholas Belmonte. Former Brampton Excelsior. Trying to drag that one free. Stutter step out of the corner. High screen from Baxter to the crease. And they score. Arrow Booth. Athletics have the lead again thanks to Arrows. That's Arrow Booth's goal right here, and a great job done by Zachary Toll. Down on the crease. On the run, St. Catharines captain Keaton Zavitz. And that shot bounced wide. Owen Lee back the other way for Whitby. Littlejohn with a swim move. Still with it. Lucas Littlejohn finds a cutter back door. Down was Wilson. That one might have been off his helmet or the crossbar. Either way, Nolan Byrne looks like he's feeling it tonight after going 2 games scoreless. Following an 8-goal performance in what was a 19-15 win. Not the highest goal output. That belongs to the Excelsiors, who put up 20 about a week and a half ago. Here's Bucktooth. Back to the line, Armitage. Got stuffed in his tracks there by Robbie Baxter. Played back here to Weatherup. He's spinning off his man. Waits for Belair off the bench. Byrne inside the restraining line. Looking for help as he runs away from Liam Deitch. Byrne, little twist pass on a bounce to Belair. Hits the deck as he was coming past the crease and landed in the orange carpet. So turnover coming here to St. Catharines. A lot of family connections in this game, including the Stainhouse brothers. Toll, as a moving screen will be called here. Team Tempers tripped up. Lee back through Trayson Stewart, along to Jesso, and to the boards to Littlejohn. Stewart, Jesso. Inside the line again, Byrne. Bouncing around, got stuffed. Ball pops free. And running out, Sutter Pilon shot. Where is it? Wilson falls in the crease. Has a defender there right by the line, but no goal signal. We remain 2-1 here with just over 7 minutes to go in the period. Langio to Littlejohn. Screen comes from Belair. Littlejohn shoots around it. Save made by Wilson. Rebound to Belair though. McCafferty. Quick set here with lots of motion to Blake Mason. Now Littlejohn again from Belair. Up top, Langio faked low, went high. And Ari Steinhaus got in the way of that. McCafferty trying to swipe at the ball as Steinhaus was chasing it down floor. Steinhaus facing a double team, still with it, looking for help, and it's going to pop out of the stick into the twig of Jack Oldman, and he's got Byrne all the way down floor. Oh, number of moves, and what a stop from Wilson, who has some words either for Byrne or for Robertson, his defender, as he went running off the floor. But either way, huge one for Wilson, as it looked like Byrne was home free for the second time here tonight. Zachary Toll spins around the corner as he tried to cut back against Baxter. Lost the ball, but goes right back after it and may have gotten himself a penalty. I think going to be a holding call here against Zachary Toll. Holding call here. Warriors will go to their second power play of the night. As we get a look at the penalty, just the arm over top of the head. No real intent there, but you can definitely see what the officials saw for the second penalty of the game coming up here to the Athletics. Littlejohn back in towards the corner to Gesso. Far side Stewart, and Littlejohn has room to shoot. He does. Kicked out by Wilson. Littlejohn overran the rebound. Picked up by Logan Fletcher. Has Zavitz down floor. Byrne did well to catch up to him. As now Fletcher rejoins the fray. Back to Howard at center. Gavin Howard puts it right into the stick of Ben Cromer. The normal defensive player leaving for Littlejohn. Back to Nolan Byrne. And he'll hang on to it just inside the restraining line. Langill and Zavitz involved. As Byrne comes across to Littlejohn. Only 5 to shoot now. Byrne waiting for the chance. Does, and Wilson will kick it back to the far side. Although they say that one bounced wide of the net. Byrne did get a second opportunity, but also unable to hit the net. So shot clock violation, 49 seconds remaining here in the penalty. And under 5 minutes to go in the period. Colton Armitage being spied here by Weatherup. Works to the far side. Adam Ponting going to run through the middle now. Tries a bouncer. Colton Armitage recovering with only 5 on the shot clock. Lets one go, but that hits off the backside of the net and will go down floor. Up top, Belair scores. Four minutes remaining here in the period. Oldman outside. Littlejohn is going to wind and score. Little John towards the corner. You understand there's an issue with the video here on the stream. We do apologize, but it may take to intermission to restart. So if it does go down fully, we ask that you stick with us as Little John puts it to the crease again. We'll go radio style. It's 3 straight goals now for the Whitby Warriors. And Lucas Littlejohn is starting to find his assist chops here as this one goes backdoor to Nolan Byrne, who cut off the bench, went straight to the net. And at the backside of the crease was able to put one through. 2:56 to go here in the period. Now 4-2 here for the Whitby Warriors. Again, our crew is aware of the video issues and are working to resolve them. Face-off goes the way of Whitby, and another long bomb pass, and it's back to Littlejohn again. And Wilson's going to call for a water break after 3 straight goals here for Whitby. Coming in about a minute and 20 some odd seconds. Stretches the lead to 5-2. And not going to be a water break. It's going to be a full-on change with Oliver Vagno coming in. Littlejohn with 5 points in the game off 5 goals. And a minute and 40 seconds to score 4. And another face-off win for Oldman. He'll find Littlejohn. Flipping it back to the restraining line. Owen Lee had a bit of trouble with it, although he'll go back to his captain. Trying to direct traffic. Nolan Byrne pops out of the pile. Littlejohn near side. Screen coming from Lee. Littlejohn with it inside the line. Stewart to the far side. Byrne high step. Shot on Vagno. There was a big slash in the middle of all that. And St. Catharines will go back to the penalty box. About the last thing that they needed. 2 minutes and 2 seconds remaining here. Again, our crew aware of the video issues. Understand there may still be audio. This will be the 3rd power play of the night for Whitby. 5-2 the lead with under 2 minutes to go here in the period. Belair down towards the corner. Julian Belair is inside the restraining line, as is Littlejohn. Pass to the crease. Just missed the man on the doorstep. Ty Gesso will send it back. This time it's Littlejohn on the crease. That one just wide of the mark. Trayson Stewart will pick it up on the half boards, and the shot clock resets. Here's Byrne through Littlejohn and Belair, the 3 high players on the set. Stewart down by the crease, hasn't touched it yet. Now working to the shooter spot, Gesso. Cycle is on with Littlejohn, finds Stewart on the crease. Gesso now cutting through, that pass misses. Belair will pick it up to Littlejohn with 5 to shoot, he does. And it gets caught up on the back of the net after hitting the end boards. Shot clock expires there, a minute to go on the power play. Logan Fletcher back up top. Into the final minute here of the period. Again, if the stream happens to disappear at the intermission, we ask that you stay with us. That should help fix the issue. As Logan Fletcher got hit there, knocking the ball free in 3. Warriors break out, including Owen Lee, trailing the play here. Jack Oldman. The other one was Owen Tapper, all defensive players, so they'll slow down and then call timeout here with, looked like an even 30 seconds on the game clock, giving an opportunity for Cooper Wilson.
For your chance to listen to great NLL here, former Warriors with some great gear for former Warriors players, and we'll make the draw in the second intermission.
So Wilson will remain in the net off to our right as Whitby set up. They'll go across to Belair, who shoots over top and scores. A dream offensive second half to this first period. That'll be the first power play marker off 3 attempts here in the first period as well. And Trent Robertson went off for a slash, his second penalty of the game. Whitby taking off on a big run, 4 goals. Oldman gets swarmed here. He'll pass it back, trying to find Lee in the middle. Intercepted though, and turning it back the other way is St. Catharines. Zavitz shot in on Wilson, knocked him backwards, but Wilson kept it alive, and it's cleared out of the crease just before the allotted 4 seconds, and the Whitby Warriors will head to the room with a 6-2 lead after the first period. Again, if the stream does interrupt here at the intermission, we ask that you bear with us as our crew is working on the video issue. We hope to return for the second period. 6-2 the lead here for Whitby over St. Catharines after 1. Live here at Iroquois Park Sports Center. We appreciate all of you hanging out and helping us, bearing with us as we fixed the issue we had there in the first period. We do understand our video froze for a little bit. Hope you could still hear my audio. I was amazing, by the way, if you couldn't. The period ends 6-2 for the Whitby Warriors. To backtrack from where I believe we left off, Arrow Booth scored right near the halfway mark of the period for the St. Catharines Athletics. Zachary Toll then took a holding penalty. Julian Belair on that power play scored. Whitby ending up 2 for 3. And that really opened the floodgates. A 4-goal run over the next about minute and 40 seconds. And I believe, yes, here's a look at the goal by Byrne. Going to the back door, Lucas Littlejohn finding him. Littlejohn with 5 points in the frame, including that goal there. That was the fourth goal, of that run in quick succession. And then Belair, the shot on the power play. That came just after a timeout to make it 6-2. That one yet to go in. This one right here, was the one on the power play to make it 6-2 after the first period. Again, apologize for the stream issue there in that first period. We believe everything has been settled. That last goal by Belair coming off a penalty to Trent Robertson for slashing his second of the game. So, recap through one period. Score is 6-2 for the Athletics. For the Warriors. Zachary Toll with 1 assist, Arrow Booth with a goal, Josh Ford with a goal, and Adam Ponting 1 assist. Ty Wilson got the start, was replaced in that period by Oliver Vagno for the last few minutes. Vagno ends up allowing the final goal of the period. Lucas Littlejohn, the statistical leader for Whitby in that period, 2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points in 6 goals. Nolan Byrne, 2 and 1 in the period. An assist for Ryan Langiel, Blake Mason, Ty Gesso, and a pair of goals for Julian Belair. That's how we get to our 6-2 Whitby lead for these two teams that have identical 5-win records. Whitby 5-1, St. Catharines coming in 5-3 on the evening. About 5 minutes left here at the intermission. We're going to take that time out and be back with the second period for you here at Iroquois Park Sports Centre in Whitby, Ontario. Again, we apologize for the issues in the first period. We thank you for bearing with us. If you know anybody that's tuned out, you let them know that we're back in and they can rejoin us here in Whitby momentarily. About 4.5 minutes away from the second period here on our feature game in the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Let's go, raise up one time, go get it, it's yours, let's shine, come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
Welcome back to Iroquois Park Sports Center in Whitby. Waiting for the clock to reset here to get started for the second period. Was all set to talk about the face-off that didn't go off. Again, we sit 6-2 after 2 periods. A big run at the end of that first period has them up 6-2 and 6 points already in the game for this man right here, Captain Lucas Littlejohn. He'll find Nolan Byrne near side, around his screen, Byrne straight through center, and it is Ty Wilson who's back between the pipes. Got the start in the game and was replaced at the tail end of that period by Ollie Vanyo for about a minute and a half or so. Byrne dancing around the outside. Looks to get back to Belair. Byrne to Ty Jesso outside Littlejohn. Screen coming in front of him. Belair set it and then fell. Langiel gonna circle in behind the net, trying to elude Ari Steinhaus. Whitby player jumped off the box, but nobody saw it, and they're gonna score with Ty Jesso on the crease. Rebound after the initial shot, and it is 7-2 for Whitby. First shot there, that's a clean rebound, and Jesso does well to stay away from the orange carpet. St. Catharines bench screaming about that too many men. The Whitby player jumped off the bench, took a few steps to go back in the defensive area and went back to take a seat just before, and now an over and back is called here against Owen Tapper. St. Catharines working without head coach Steve Toll tonight. Zavitz being on the boards, back to Bucktooth. Bucktooth from the outside. That shot right off the bucket of Cooper Wilson, who's talking to the official, and I think he wants, trying to get a second to look at his mask, and he'll get it now as Tapper brings the ball back up over at center. Kyle Kropman wasn't going to give him the timeout. Bucket back on, off to our left. Meanwhile, play is back on to our right with Nolan Byrne, shoveling a pass back up to Mason. He'll get shoved out wide before getting to the crease and heads up. That one into the top row. 2 balls on the carpet now. Trent Robertson was about to restart play, but rugby style with the quick delayed restart, they'll let an offensive player get out there. Toll to the far side. Zachary Toll back with it. Screen set in front of him and then met with a triple team that eventually knocked the ball free. Couldn't get it to Arrow Booth. Back towards center. Tegan Dempers waits for Lee to head off. High defense being played by Josh Ford, and that was enough to distract Lee. Have that ball head up and into the Whitby bench. Zavitz. Back up top through Gavin Howard. Zavitz will get it again by himself out near the boards. Back through the middle on the run shooting. Found the left foot there of Cooper Wilson. Ben Cromer near side. Takes the feed from Belmonte. Oldman trailing. He'll wait out to the far boards. That's where Littlejohn's waiting for the pass. Now to Byrne. Don't know how many times those two have connected on a pass here tonight, but it's been a fair number. As Byrne's chance to the far side, hit off a body and now knocked back into the crease after a good save from Wilson. They've just put Ty Jesso's goal in the system, and guess what? Littlejohn got the assist. How about a 7-point night off 7 goals? Langiel's shot. Handled by Wilson. Rebound back to Liam Deitch. We'll come back towards the restraining line. Weird play there as the stick went one way, a leg went the other, and collided, looked awkwardly by Oldman. Good to see both of them run away from the scene. Jack Oldman into the net, scores. Seems like everything is finding a way through here tonight for Whitby on their home floor. Oldman on his wrong side was just going to wait this one out and then elects to take it. I don't know if Robertson, combination of him and Nathan Fear defending, deflected that, changed direction, but either way, one to the left of Wilson. Whitby bench on the officials yet again. Only a matter of time, I would think, before Cropman's had enough. Here's Littlejohn to Stewart. Down into the corner. Byrne continues the cycle with the righties to Littlejohn, who hit the inside of the post. Back to Littlejohn. Has room to shoot, but it closes quickly. Ryan Barker knocks him off his feet. Knocked the ball free as well, and it's going to roll back here to the Athletics. The only thing that hasn't gone right for Littlejohn tonight. Josh Ford. 4 minutes gone here in the second period. All Whitby so far. Colton Armitage. Round a high seal. Back up top looking for Toll. Tipped off his, off the stick of Lee. And now Weatherup going up to pressure the ball. Baxter takes over as well. That one did get in on net. Shot clock went. Everybody had vacated, so it'll be Whitby ball anyways. Nolan Byrne. Turns and fires. Wilson. Got a good look at that despite a collision in front of his net. Oldman's goal made it 8-2. The only one of the night so far that Lucas Littlejohn does not have a hand in. Here's Zavitz from the wrong side. His sidearm shot gets through and it's in. Looked like Cooper Wilson was going to stand there and make the save. Thought it might have been caught in his leg pad, but it's just a great seeing eye shot from Keaton Zavitz. Still don't see it. There it is. They've credited the goal to Gavin Howard. That's not correct. Anyways, 5 minutes gone here in the period. That's the third one for the Athletics. Going to need a whole bunch more. Sliding in the crease there, Robertson on top of Julian Belair. Ryan Barker. Will dish off here to Toll. Out to the far side, Bucktooth. To Toll up top. Shot there off the arm of Wilson. Deflected to the corner. Bucktooth resets the shot clock. Booth. Arrow Booth on the run. Kicked out by Wilson now. But right to Jake Wright. And the third stage of this offensive set. Pulled out by Wright. Kicked away by Wilson. This one going to surely end up in the hands of Whitby and Evan Lee. Back to Littlejohn. They'll slow things down, wait for the offense with Byrne taking the pass from Langille. Nolan Byrne. Langille. Him and Byrne play catch. Down towards the corner. Tryson Stewart setting up and to the 5-hole there of Wilson, who made the initial stop. Then it trickled through, and I think that's going to be Ollie Vagno's cue to return to this game. He goes down the tunnel to look for his gear. And this outside shot from Tryson Stewart. Langille's third assist of the game. Nolan Burns, same story. He's got 5 points. Your Gatorade player of the week, excuse me. Zach Abu Ali, by the way, the Gatorade Rookie of the Year, of the week. I'll figure out what the awards are here in a second, but from the Mimico Mountaineers. First one that Max Kruger hasn't won. Orangeville Northman Super Rookie. Down floor, Tegan Dempers welcomes Vaniel back into the game with a shot off his shoulder. 7 minutes gone in the period. Robertson directing traffic. He'll play it here to Toll. Screen coming in the back of Tapper. Robertson now heads off. Shot clock down to 15 as Zavitz takes it to the far side. Bucktooth cutting to the net. Can't find him with the pass. Back outside. Big cutback move. Jake Wright and then Bucktooth. Straight through Belmonte. Those two had words afterwards. Cromer. Back here to McCafferty. This is an offense that's still without Luke Robinson and Gabriel Soroketti, who has yet to play this season. Winging across crease to Blake Mason was Little John. Late in the shot clock, trying to stuff it in from a bad angle, and Burns going to recover the rebound after Mason just beat the shot clock. Soroketti, one of, I believe, 5 Minto Cup champions from 2022. Nifty play through the legs, Burn. Feeling it after that weekly award, isn't he? Here's Zachary Toll. Minute and a half away from the halfway mark of the period. Out to the outside. It'll come back for Toll, working through a screen, and the shot there on Wilson. He covers up after hanging onto it in the stick. Supposed to be a matchup of the two brothers, Ty and Cooper, but 17-year-old getting the better of his older athletics brother so far here tonight. Despite the records coming in. Here at Iroquois Park Sports Center, the home of the Whitby Warriors. And a big check right in the middle. Penalty coming up here. First one of the night to the Warriors. Nicholas Belmonte. First time they'll be shorthanded. Keep your eye on the middle of the screen. First takedown in the... Oh, that's one of the easier calls the refs are going to make tonight, I would say. And tack on 10 yards for taunting. For standing over your man afterwards. Oh, wait a minute. They've got 7 minutes on the board here. I was kidding. 2 for roughing and 5 for high sticking. So a 7-minute power play here for the Athletics, of which they can score 3 goals. Zavitz trying to get one early. He'll get his own rebound after a little scrum for that loose ball. But how about the opportunity presenting itself here for the Athletics to get back in this game? Toll, quick stick far side. Jake Wright makes no mistake. This is just a howitzer of a shot coming out of this corner. And I think Brandon Hessen's saying that's 1 off the 5. So still, no. 2 minutes has come off that penalty, so that's taking power play time down to 5 minutes now for St. Catharines. Jack Ullman pushing the face-off forward. Got it right into Robertson, though. So now into the major portion of this power play, of which they can score 2 goals. Zavitz taking top spot now. Toll trying the same play, except trying to finish it off with a cutter to the crease. Bucktooth, long way from home. Back near side, right shot. Gobbled up by Wilson. Here's Tapper. Just inside of center. Belair. The man off the bench, and Ty Gesso already has a goal tonight. Langille actually leads the league with 3 shorthanded goals on the season. Byrne facing a double team late in the shot clock, does a smart thing and dumps it into empty floor. Power play sets up again with Toll taking top spot through Bucktooth. And right at the corner of the crease, he'll go back to the X position now. Bucktooth on the crease, got swarmed. That's where that play was headed. And now in the corner, Adam Ponting. The rookie gonna steal it away from Owen Tapper. Ponting to Toll, to Bucktooth. Zavitz takes the shooter spot beside Toll. As they switch off for Bucktooth, looking for the same quick stick play to right again. This one just wide of the mark. It'll take a short hop off the glass, and Tapper's on his way to the races, and stepping up to meet that was the right leg of Ollie Vagno. Nifty little way to save that play for Sutter Pilon, going through the legs. As now Josh Ford flips it to Toll. Under 3 minutes to go in this major power play. It was 7 minutes. The Athletics already have 1 goal. Zavitz with it, working through the middle. Twist shot, where is it? Wilson asking the same question, but it was under his gear. Owen Lee, near side, has a man off the bench. It's going to be Julian Belair who will slow things down. Now Stewart couldn't get it through Liam Deitch. Ball down, picked up by Belair. Only 2 to shoot though. He turns and did not get it in on Vagno in time. The little skipper. No one was around to pick up the rebound anyways. Here's Toll, Zavitz. Inside of 2 minutes left in the power play. Just outside of 7 to go in the period. Bucktooth backdoor, they score. Zachary Toll all alone. And a great find from Bucktooth. Zavitz, second point. Now, is that 2 for 1 on the power play? I think the major and the minor count as 2 separate power play chances despite the 7 minutes going up on the board. Goalie's taking a chance for a water break. Next up for Whitby will be Friday night. Be at home here against Burlington. Tomorrow night, the Six Nations Arrows visit St. Catharines in what should be a great game. Of course, the Athletics hosting the Minto Cup, August 16 to 23. Byrne going for the check there, lost his stick. In on the crease, big jump shot from Ford, and Wilson back to make the stop. Robertson, I guess not wanting to get called offside on the field, not wanting to cross center, but Josh Ford here for Zavitz. As man off the bench, it's Toll. Now Bucktooth back to Zavitz. Forced that shot over top of the pile. It went wide of the net. Under 10 to shoot now. Toll in the corner to right. Back to Toll with space. And Wilson went down after making the save. Pops right back up. Oldman taken down. 8 to get over center, and in trying to do so to get back on his feet, lifted over the short glass here at Iroquois Park. Bucktooth quick stick. Save Wilson. Rebound to Zavitz. 39 seconds of power play time remaining. Working it through Armitage and Bucktooth. Wilson was ready for the quick stick, never came. Zavitz now and Bucktooth again. Back up top, Zavitz, a skip shot. That one just missed. It'll go over and back. And Lee had thoughts of chasing it down, but the presence of Ryan Barker made him think twice. 20 seconds left to go in the power play. So Whitby can take this all the way down. 5.5 to go here in the period. 9-5 for the home side Warriors. By way of hosting the Minto Cup, the Athletics will get a entrant into the tournament as Byrne finds a cutting Belair. That shot wide. Tickets now available, by the way, for what should be a great time down in St. Catharines. The Ontario champion will join them, as will Alberta and BC. Here's Toll cutting through, shot past Byrne, who's back to play a defensive shift. Now in towards the corner, cutting through again. And Wilson was down and out, but the shot from Arrow Booth over top of the crossbar. Cromer flipping it to Byrne with under 5 to go here in the second frame. Byrne. That one bypassed Belair. Back for Gesso. Ty Gesso will launch it behind the net and played back here to Ryan Andrews now off the shot clock violation. Do not adjust your screens. The turf is new here at Iroquois Park. To answer the chat, here's Zavitz. Got picked off. It's actually here because Brooklyn Merchants will be hosting the President's Cup here in this building. Brooklyn Lacrosse Club playing here on the turf, as are Whitby Warriors, and that President's Cup tournament will be, as I said, right here at Iroquois Park Sports Center, as well as the return of the Ontario Lacrosse Festival. Out on the crease, Little John just missed as he was cutting through. Langille took a shot downstairs, and some oohs and ahs from the crowd, and another penalty coming up. Third trip to the box tonight for Robertson. Gonna get an unsportsmanlike to add with it. And I wonder if that's not 5 minors. And I think it is. The extra deuce tacked on to end the night of Robertson. Got an offsetting penalty with Lucas Littlejohn for roughing in the first period. Then a slashing minor at the end of that first. Well, wait a minute, that's only 2. So 4 minutes on the board, 3:20 left in the period. Byrne working it through there for Belair, turns and fires. Rebound bounces right back to St. Catharines. Trailing by 4, a 4-goal run in just about a minute and 20 seconds in that first period sparked the Whitby offense. Ford content to just wait this one out, looking for a bounce shot in the 5-hole of Wilson. Everything was plugged up with that big summer stick. Whitby to their 4th power play of the night. Coming in 2 for 3. Byrne going up top. Here's Littlejohn. Into the corner. Tryson Stewart wasn't ready for the pass. Recovered nicely to bring it down and still get a shot off the defender. Shot clock went. No goal, Whitby. There was so much happening there. Hits off the defender and goes in. But not before the shot clock sounded, and Ollie Vagno was right there with the call along with the official. Ari Steinhaus behind the Whitby net, trying to rag this one out with his team killing off a penalty. Steinhaus still with it. Under 5 in the shot clock, and sticks her out in support of the youngster. Couple seconds, we'll be in the back half of the double minor. With only a minute 20 left to go here in the second period. Byrne to the outside. Littlejohn cutting his way through. Looking to pass back. Oh boy, another bouncing ball in the crease. Vagno thought about bombing it down floor, but Belair was there. Now gives short pass to Zavitz, who runs his way through. Wilson with the save. It'll stay in Whitby's crease here for Belair. Into the final minute. Whitby did take a timeout in that first period, so see if they elect to do so down the stretch here with Byrne and Littlejohn. Setting up with Belair. Gesso in the corner, as is Stewart. He'll touch it now on the crease. Thinking of shooting, and that hooked at the last second. To the rebound, Littlejohn in front. Off Wilson, straight up and out of play. And Littlejohn slammed his stick. Got to be pretty good when you're unhappy with a 7-point night through 2 periods. Byrne to the far side. Littlejohn, another shot. This one kicked up and out of play. With a minute left in the power play and 25 to go in the period. Littlejohn with it again. Slowing things down. Thought maybe Wilson would be coming out of the net, but not going to be the case. Shot clock turned off. Byrne. And Littlejohn. Back to Belair. Littlejohn takes the shot. Coming up to meet it. Vagno, and it's up out of play again. On the reset, there will only be 1 to shoot. Byrne does. And that'll be the end of the period, which ends with the same gap we had after the first. It was 6-2 after 1, 9-5 now. Whitby still on top of St. Catharines again. These two teams with identical 5-win records, representing a tie for 3rd in the standings. This game could go a long way in deciding who would get home floor advantage, and especially if it is these two meeting in the first round. If the season ended today, that would be the case, with Whitby getting that home floor. We're going to take ourselves a 10-minute timeout, actually about 9.5, before bringing you back here to Iroquois Park Sports Center. Here in Whitby, Ontario, you're watching the feature game of the week here in the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Yeah, let's go. Raise up one time, go get it. It's yours, let's shine, come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
Back live inside Iroquois Park Sports Center here in Whitby, Ontario. 9-5 lead for Whitby after 2 periods. And they will start on the power play as well. Still 30 seconds remaining in Robertson's minor. And still Liam Deitch serving. Robertson being shown with only 8 penalty minutes in the game, so didn't see anything else that resulted in that, but we'll see if he does return. Littlejohn back to the far side. Byrne couldn't hang on to it. Gets shoved into the boards, and I'm going to reset the clock. Penalty is over. Back to 5-on-5. Whitby 2 for 4 on the power play tonight. The Athletics 2 for 2. One of those was a major. Actually, the whole thing was 7 minutes consecutively. Ty Jesso. And posture up here to the outside. Bounces around a screen from Littlejohn. Down to a knee was Vanier, who starts this third period for St. Catharines. Byrne. Up to Littlejohn. Along the boards. Jesso through Angil. Back to the far side to Nolan Byrne. Julian Belair. And Byrne to Littlejohn, under 10 to shoot. In the middle, Belair does it. Well, looked like he scored. Kyle Crotman, a better angle than we have, said no. Vanier must have kept that off the crossbar. Over the top, Colton Armitage. A lot of east-west passing here to start. Zachary Toll a long way from home. That opens up the lane for a shot from the right side, and rebound comes right back up to Weatherup. 2 other games ongoing tonight. Beach is hosting the Lakers, leading 8-6 in the second period, and a little late start in Oakville. KW there, tied 1-1 in the first. Littlejohn from Byrne. Weatherup popped out of the pile, was all alone, couldn't bring the ball down in time to shoot. Littlejohn to chase this. Man, never gives up, does he? Fun player to watch in his graduating season. Was part of that 2022 Minto Cup winning team here in Whitby. Same year he played for a Junior A Hockey National Championship. All the way across. Brought down by Gavin Howard, his twist shot. He gets drilled into the end boards afterwards. And getting up slowly. Looks to be okay, but penalty coming up to Whitby. Kyle Crotman, Brennan Hessen going to talk about this one. Keep your eye on the right side of the screen at the end of the play. Right there. Cross check for sure coming against Owen Lee, if not more. 4-minute check from behind. Been a while since I've seen one of those, but gives another power play here to the Athletics. Zavitz up top. Shake right. Zavitz. Cross floor again. Bucktooth corrals it, but now with 10 to shoot. Zavitz back to Toll, who does hit the end boards. Quick stick goal. This is the second one that Jamison Bucktooth is going to set up on the power play. For this quick stick, and look, in and out of the stick, and perfect find down to the crease. Choking up on the handle to make sure it's caught. Working to perfection, and don't look now, but still on the power play are the Athletics. That made them 3 for 3. This will be their 4th chance. Vanier run into as he came out of the crease. Looking to play the ball. Little John slows it down. Zavitz and Toll each with just 3 points tonight off the 6 goals. By the way, coming into the period, it was 5 off 22 shots for the Athletics as Little John's latest attempts. Knocks off the leg of Nathan Fear. Out from the corner, it'll be played up to Logan Fletcher. Zachary Toll trying to run away from Oldman. Down into the final minute of what was once a double minor. Bucktooth to the corner. Back up top, Toll looking back for Bucktooth. That one went errant, and the battle's on between him and Cromer. Oldman in there as well as Bucktooth comes to the crease, trying to beat the shot clock, and can't do it. Lee picks it up. A slash from Bucktooth. Some oohs and ahs. Belair long past the burn on the outside boards. About 20 seconds to go. 7-second difference in the penalty clock to the shot clock, which is now down to 10. Byrne facing a double team. Bounces off. Sends a skip shot in towards the net. One went wide, and Ryan Andrews will bring it back to center for a final few seconds of this power play. Look at the passing here from the Athletics. It finished with an over-the-shoulder try from Toll. And then Adam Ponting, the rookie, had run through the crease, so it'll be Whitby taking possession again. 3 for 4 on the power play tonight. Half of the goals coming on the man advantage for the Athletics. Weather up. Back here to McCafferty. Trying to find Little John. I think may have tried a second time and nearly intercepted by Weatherup. Meanwhile, Aristinos comes in transition and rang it off the right arm there of Cooper Wilson, who's gone the distance in this game for the Whitby Warriors. Athletics, as we said, 5 goals off 22 shots through 2 periods. 9 off 38 for the Warriors. We're probably up over the 40 mark now. Mason looks off Belair. Keeps to the outside. Ryan Langille staggers Vagno with that shot, but did hang on for the save, as now it's in the stick of Fear again. Bouncer to Armitage. Colton Armitage just inside center with his captain Zavitz. Armitage down the boards. Jake Wright. 5 to shoot. As Toll gets it now, tries to cut back. Harassed there by Tapper. Big hit after the fact. Ball rolling in the crease, and they're going to call it back in as Oldman sent it there. And break for St. Catharines, who thought they were getting a shot clock violation, but end up with a fresh 30 and the ball. Wright stuffed on his first try. Cross floor, Bucktooth. No look for a bouncing Ponting. Back through the middle, Bucktooth. Sent it past the net. Cromer took down his man right at center, and that forced the ball back over against Jake Wright. Oldman has it. Little John's going to call him off the floor as he brings the ball down. Byrne. These two were absolutely dynamic in the first period. Have slowed things a little bit, has this Whitby offense. Gesso jumping out of the pile. Back now for Little John. 1-on-1. Back to Gesso at the side of the crease. Reached in front of Vagno and ended up putting it off his gear. Outlet pass intended for Zavitz. Bounces back to Weatherup. No good at Gesso. And now Little John again. Waiting for his top man, Nolan Byrne, in the Gatorade Player of the Week. Cut through the middle. Byrne still with it, stands tall, and that one just over the shoulder of Vagno, who shrugged it away. Weatherup now only with 5 to shoot. Up top, Langille will And a bouncing ball didn't get far enough. Langiel stood in front of Vanier, who didn't like it. Meanwhile, Littlejohn was sitting in his net after getting knocked down by Sutter Pilon. Mason to Littlejohn. Cross floor to Byrne. Stewart circling the net. Langiel will get it again. Rip! Ball bounced out and goes in the net illegally. So another one taken off the board for Whitby. Thought they had one bounce off a defender back in that second period. And this one a crease violation. Toll. Gavin Howard through Armitage. Back to Toll again. Back in the corner. One skipped away. And Tapper will leave it back at center for Littlejohn. Hidden ball play between Littlejohn and Gesso. Littlejohn still had it. Now passes to Byrne. He'll work past the screen. Down to the crease. Quick stick chance for Littlejohn. And Vanier came off to his right nicely. And Vanier and Littlejohn having words. And as Littlejohn put the shove on the goaltender, coming over to defend him is Ryan Barker. Now Ari Steinhaus says something to Littlejohn. Meanwhile, a stick battle between Weatherup and Zavitz as the ball comes to the crease. Jamison Bucktooth fell hard in front of the net and grabbed at his right knee. He's hobbling, trying to make his way off to the bench. Hold your breath, St. Catharines. Keep an eye on number 44, who stumbles again, coming across one of the logos here on the carpet. Jamison Bucktooth. Doubled over on the bench after he stumbled and grabbed at his right knee. Weatherup. Penalty coming up here to St. Catharines. Byrne slips the pick on the crease. A number of moves before Vanier made the stop. And Bucktooth moving around over on that bench, but here's a look at the play from Byrne. Feet have to stay out of the cylinder, and immediately Vanier signals for water after Nathan Fear gets called. Our next broadcast coming your way Saturday, June 14th. Happy birthday to my sister. 2 p.m. Oakville Buzz hosting Orangeville Northman. Be sure you're subscribed here, as we'll be back underway with a Father's Day Sunday night primetime matchup as well from Brampton at 7 p.m. Back-to-backers coming up on the weekend here on the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League YouTube channel. Oh, a quick little shot in transition from Josh Ford. Looking towards the 5-hole of Cooper Wilson. Again, a 2-0 record and an 8 goals against average. Looks pretty similar season to what he's done here this evening. Littlejohn from the outside. Room opens up. He'll shoot off the post. Back to Belair. Littlejohn again. Byrne. Inside the restraining line. Nolan Byrne being harassed. Back to Langiel. Another shot. Save made by Vanier. Full splits on the second chance. And he was going to hold his ground. Warriors going to pressure the ball here. Only 8 seconds to get across half. It does roll harmlessly away, but there was no one out there in a blue jersey close enough. And you can see how tired Logan Fletcher is. One of the high corner defenders, is now they want to switch things up and put him down on the crease. Byrne coming through. Got a good shot away. This one will indeed be picked up by Fletcher. He desperately needs to head off and got to hurry to beat the 8 count, and that one will, but does he have enough gas in the tank to get off the floor? Doubling over is Keaton Zavitz, who's been stuck out on D this entire time as well. He'll be the crease defender just to the right of your screen. Penalty has expired. Fear back out there. And it'll be a mad rush to the bench. Would have thought for the Athletics, but Zavitz clearing center and going to stay on the floor to take an offensive shift now. Armitage. Eventually working its way back to Howard. Armitage again up top. Back to the far side. A bouncer. Found Armitage yet again, but not before he could take a shot. So no bucktooth on that last set. Continue to wait and see after he hobbled off the floor. Gesso to the far side. Trayson Stewart waiting for a screen from Mason. Doesn't return the pass. He'll give to Littlejohn instead. Big swim move. Littlejohn outside the restraining line. Defender goes with him. Down low, Oldman, 3 to shoot. Bouncer does. And missed Olivanyo, so it's up out of play. Cross center, Josh Ford. Bucktooth is coming out to take an offensive shift here. Looks to be okay as he jogs his way back towards the crease. Jake Wright. Cross floor. In and out of the stick of Armitage. Big head fake from the ball carrier to Bucktooth, who did the same. Wilson makes the shoulder stop. Rebound out in front of the Whitby bench. Big scrum for it. Zachary Toll in there, involved with Ethan Lee. And eventually it's going to work through for Lee, who gets it across center to Ben Cromer. Big salute from the Whitby bench with their sticks out and some applause from their coaching staff. 5.5 to go in what is a 3-goal Whitby lead. Took that by way of 4 goals in 1 minute and 20 seconds in the first period. And again, Ryan Barker stirred up trouble as Weatherup took exception to a shove. Played back near side, Gavin Howard. Bucktooth setting a screen through the middle. He was open on the crease, couldn't find him. Now we'll come back up top. It's Howard's turn to set the screen for Bucktooth, who shoots around it. Wilson makes the stop, and it's cleanly picked up and out and down floor by Owen Lee. Going to take it himself. Kick save by Vanyo. Lee then ran through the crease, so Athletics ball in a fresh 30 seconds. Adam Ponting. Big high step from Jake Wright. He'll turn it back towards the corner. Armitage. Back here for Wright. Still no shot. Armitage was cutting through. He had gone through the crease. Zavitz takes over in the corner, so there's no violation. Playing back here for Wright, who scores. Been a while since we've had a goal in this game, and it's St. Catharines continuing to hang around. And how about the job by the captain in on the wall to set up Jake Wright. Keaton Zavitz chasing that one down for his 4th point of the game, 3rd assist. And don't look now, but St. Catharines within 2. Ball will bounce to Weatherup. Only blemish on the record of the Warriors this season came at the hands of the Six Nations Arrows. Over the shoulder on the run from Weatherup. Ball down in the middle of the set. Handled here across center. Sutter Pilon. Securing it back to Arrow Booth. Josh Ford. Thought was going to stay on and take an offensive shift. Not going to as Booth gets it back up top. Gavin Howard backpedaling through the middle. In front, they score again. 1-goal game as Sutter Pilon works in front of the crease. Circled all the way around. And excuse me, that's Adam Ponting with his second. Toll picks up his 4th point and 3rd assist as well. We got ourselves a 1-goal game with 3.5 to go here at Iroquois Park Sports Center. Can only imagine what the odds makers had in the last 5 minutes of the first period when Whitby was running downhill with no breaks. And what you would have said then to have a 1-goal game coming down the stretch. Whitby trying to stop momentum here. Belair through the middle, caught off center, and Vagno, who has been solid coming on in relief of Ty Wilson in a couple different stretches here in this game. Liam Deitch brought it across center. It'll be back in the stick of Colton Armitage. All the energy on the offensive side now of the St. Catharines Athletics. Jake Wright to Bucktooth to the outside, cutting through the middle. No shot initially from Armitage. Then when it did come, it was caught in the stick of Jack Oldman. Both teams will have timeouts here as we head down the stretch. As Oldman shoots, oh, it trickled through the crease of Vagno after he made the save with his left arm. Ball down for Byrne, can't pick it up cleanly. Still trying to get it. Still arguing over who's going to bring this ball down. It bypasses Oldman. It's in the stick of Ari Steinhaus. He'll leave it here for Keaton Zavitz and slow things down for the offense as we hit the 2-minute warning. Bucktooth to work around a screen, takes top spot. That one just whistles wide. On the run, trying to catch up to it is Tapper. Owen Tapper will leave here for Little John. All the way to the outside, Langiel now. Byrne waiting for a pass that never came. Back at the restraining line. Loose ball on the crease, up for grabs. Little John couldn't corral it. Now a double team chasing down the ball carrier. St. Catharines have to hurry. Logan Fletcher does beat the 8 count. Minute 20 left to go in regulation time in this 1-goal game. Between two teams sitting on 5 wins here in the standings. 4th and 5th seed by way of win percentage. Bucktooth to the far side. Low shot at the last minute. Hits off Wilson and rolls into the corner. Adam Ponting is in there, as is Ben Cromer. Ethan Lee joins for the Athletics. So does everybody else. Who's got it? Still no reset. Cromer in there, takes the pile down. Trying to dig it out is Jake Wright. And now it works away in the stick of the Warriors. Oldman will get the reset. Chasing Lee. Do they take the clock all the way down? 30 seconds left. It's a 9-second difference. Game clock over shot clock. Belair to the far side. Langiel slowly jogging his way in. Byrne going to come set the screen. It's Langiel with the shot. Rebound not far enough for Byrne. An immediate timeout called by the St. Catharines bench. Wowee. 3 straight goals here in the period for St. Catharines have brought them back within 1, and they'll get last shot here in regulation time to try and even things up. Another reminder to subscribe to the OJLL YouTube channel. We got more games coming up. How about a weekend doubleheader? An afternoon matinee, Orangeville in Oakville at 2 p.m. as here's a look at the most recent goal that just trickles in off Cooper Wilson. Ponting's second of the game. Again, a 2 p.m. start time in Oakville on Saturday. That's the 14th. And then the Toronto Beaches at Brampton Memorial Arena, 7 o'clock start time on Father's Day. Pass through the middle, low shot, Bucktooth. Wilson the stop, second chance coming. That hit a defender. Long bomb down floor, over top of the net, and that'll do it. And the Whitby Warriors, by the skin of their teeth, hang on and will improve their record to 6-1. St. Catharines drops to 5-4. A final score tonight of 9-8 for Whitby by way of those 4 quick goals back in that first period. Great game between these two teams. That still looks like Whitby seem to be going to be a force down the stretch here as we come into the weekend, starting to get near the halfway mark for a lot of these teams in this Ontario Junior Lacrosse League season, which will culminate in St. Catharines with the Minto Cup on August 16th through the 23rd. Single game tickets and more information is now available for that and for us. We'll be back on Saturday, an afternoon game in Oakville. The Orangeville Northmen in to face the Oakville Buzz right here on the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League YouTube channel. For our producer Gary Morrison and director Chris Main tonight, our JVI Sports Network crew, and the rest of the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League, my name is Matthew Carrick saying good night from Iroquois Park Sports Center, where the Whitby Warriors win 9-8. Have a great week. We'll talk to you on Saturday.